Welcome, folks. I hope you're all doing well. So, today I'm going to be teaching about the Reaper, which is a fair value gap that's inside of a breaker. So, a Reaper basically means you must have a breaker for you to have a Reaper. So, we have a Reaper as a fair value gap. It's an inversion fair value gap that is inside of a breaker. So it is the unicorn of the ICT PDRAs. So it's so hard to spot a Reaper. So this is gold. Here we're having gold. This is the 50-minute chart. This is on Friday. This is Friday's price action. And then we had some news that came in at 10. And this is what we had. So a breaker, you must first identify a breaker prior to the Reaper. So here we're having a breaker. We're having low, high, lower, low. So this one automatically becomes the breaker. So you mark that. This is the breaker. Extend that through. So you're having the breaker. So here we're having some fair value gaps right here. Now the Reaper must be between the high, the low, and the high prior to either the higher high or the lower low. So it must be in this price range. So you identify where do we have a fair value gap that should act as an inversion fair value gap. So here we're having this as the Reaper. That one there. Then you extend that through. It is one of the strongest. If you see that, that's the unicorn that you can ever find on the ICT PDRAs. All of them. It's the rarest. So it is what, if you see that, you good capitalize on that. So now the rules for the Reaper must be from this low to this high prior to either the lower low or the higher high. So that must always be in your mind. So we're having a breaker. Now how do you identify if you can be having a breaker that has several fair value gap to this price range? So you take your fib, anchor it to that low and that high. So a Reaper must be at a discount. If you're having a bullish Reaper, it must be at discount of this price range, like what we have here. If you're having a bearish Reaper, it must be at a premium of the same. So that's it, nothing else. So you must have a breaker, 1, 2. You must identify any inversion fair value gap that will act as a Reaper, and then it must be below the midpoint. If you're looking at the higher time frame, that range, it must be at discount of this price swing, not this, the one that makes the lower low. It is the one that starts this run up prior to this lower low being formed. So that's what we call a Reaper right there. So a Reaper is one of the strongest PDRAs that you can ever see. So if you see a Reaper, that's it, nothing else. It's so rare to find. You look over the charts, but it's so rare to find. So we're having the Reaper. If you head over now to the 1-minute chart, where now you have to capitalize on your entries based off the Reaper, This is how you do it. As you can see, price respected that area. No candle close below the midpoint of that range, from this high to this low. No candle close. So we only had wicks. So with the wicks do the damage and the bodies tell the story. So that's it. That's how you capitalize on a Reaper whenever you see it happen. So it is so unique because price cannot, it will never, I don't think how I can explain it, but price cannot trade below a Reaper. I have that being a testimony. As you can see right here, price did not trade below the Reaper. So our stop either below the Reaper or below the midpoint, and then entry long, and we anticipate for longs to happen. So, but you must understand all the rules that makes a Reaper a Reaper. So that's it. It must be below, it must be at a discount. If it is a bullish Reaper, it must be at the price swing that takes the low or the high. So I guess that's it for today, and I hope you find this teaching insightful. Until I talk to you next time, be safe.